It's Paul Marsh, and I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by Gareth Gates. Gareth, how are you, sir?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm really, really good. We've just been talking about this off air, so I'm going to say it again. You are a busy, busy man. Do you know every service station in the UK?
Like the back of my hand. It's been crazy of late. Well, I say of late. For the past 23 years, I haven't actually stopped since Pop Idol. But yeah, very fortunate to have kept busy and kept on working. So it's it's all good.
Yeah, well, like I say, you're doing so many different bits and pieces. Seeing as you've mentioned it, I'll mention it, and I will mention it only once. But does Pop Idol feel literally like a million years ago because you've just done so much since then?
In some ways, it feels like yesterday. It was Pop Idol was great. It was the first of its kind, well before X Factor and the likes. And we entered into that competition not knowing what it was or what we were to become. And that was exciting though. I think for a few people in the competition, they were kind of wary about it. But I was a young boy. I was 17, boy from Bradford, and moved to London, and it was exciting. It was fast, and yeah, I just loved every minute about it.
Well, it wasn't until I sort of obviously because we were talking today, I had a quick look at your Wikipedia and all those bits and pieces last night. It wasn't until then that I realised A, how young you were and how we're only a couple of years difference. You're 40, aren't you? And I'm 43.
I am 40. Yeah,
Yeah.
wow,
So
old
we're
now.
literally only a few years difference. And I was thinking about it, and other than the fact that you have more hair, I think we're very similar in the fact. I think we've both got six packs. I know you can't see this through the Zoom, but I've got a fantastic six pack as well. Honestly, let's let the listeners believe that, shall we?
That's the magic of radio, isn't it, mate?
That's why I do radio and not TV. Absolutely, 100%. Um, You have made the theatre stage your second home, though, haven't you? I think, like you say, since probably 3, 4 years after Pop Idol, you went and did theatre, you went and did West End and what have you, and you've never looked back.
Yes. Yeah, I was very fortunate to have a lot of success as a pop star, as an artist, sold lots of records, had lots of number ones. But my sort of one love, my one true love was musical theatre. Actually, at the age of 8, the first thing I ever did was I played Joseph in my first school. I was this shy boy with a debilitating stammer, and my music teacher saw that I was able to sing, and so she gave me the role of Joseph in his amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Then 15 years 15 years later, after that, I was in Andrew Lloyd Webber's office with Andrew, auditioning for that very role on the West End, and he gave me that role. And yes, as you say, I've kind of carved myself a career out within musical theatre. I did Les Miserables, I've done Legally Blonde, uh, Footloose. I even did SpongeBob the musical last year, which was crazy.
I love, you know what? So I was going to bring this up later, but seeing as you've mentioned it, I'm going to scroll through my notes and I'm going to bring this up now, right? You have been, like you say, you've been in Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, you've been in Les Miserables, you've been in Legally Blonde, you've been in Sleeping Beauty, Footloose, you name it. And you've been in SpongeBob and you've been playing Squidward. Where did that come about?
Well, my friend's a big West End producer, and I've worked for him quite a bit over the years. And he called me and said, "Do you fancy doing SpongeBob?" And I was like, "I don't really fancy it, if I'm honest." And but we're really good friends, and he kind of persuaded me. It was actually really great. It was a great show. I played Squidward. I had to learn how to tap dance with four extra legs attached to me at the back. Yeah, it was crazy but fun.
Oh, it sounds brilliant. I have to be honest with you and say I didn't see that one of all the bits and pieces I've seen over my life. Didn't
Why
see that
not?
one. I know it's crazy, isn't it? I'll have to try and catch it on DVD or on streaming or whatever. But of all the things you have achieved, and like you say, you've been this pop star, you've created this lane now on the theatre stage. I have to ask you, where does the fact that you won the 2023 edition of Celebrity SAS, Who Dares Wins, where does that rank?
Oh, that's right up there.
Yeah.
Well, as both one of the best experiences and the worst. They really stretch you physically, mentally, emotionally. They push you to your absolute limits, and it was tough, but it was possibly one of the greatest experiences of my life. I train in the gym every day, and so physically, although it was hard, I was able to do it physically. I was able to get through. The mental side of things was really tough, but but again, think I had what it took, and the reason why I won and was the last man standing, I think, was because I was badly bullied at school. I was often beaten at school because of my stammer. And I think going through that has really built up quite a bit of resilience, and I can handle a lot more because of that. In fact, the DSs seemed like pussycats compared to the bullies at school.
Well, look, when it comes to the end of the world, whether we're fighting zombies or aliens or whatever we're doing, I'm coming looking for you because not only can we kick some zombie behinds during the day, but in the evening we can have a little bit of a sing-song.
Hey mate, I've got your back. Don't you worry. I'm SAS trained now, so don't you worry.
I love it. But like we said, we've been talking about so much. Like I say, you are a busy, busy man. You're out on the road doing lots of different things. You're coming
Mhm.
to Fareham Live. You are going to be doing Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. You're
That's
at
right.
Fareham Live on the 27th of February.
That's right.
When and how did you discover Frankie Valli? I know it's funny, isn't it? When you grow up and you hear the songs of Frankie Valli, it's just something you've always known through your mums and dads and all of that type of stuff. It's just always been in the background, hasn't it? But when did you
Yeah.
actually really discover it and deep dive into it?
Yeah, I was the same. My parents were big fans. I'd always heard that music growing up. But it wasn't until I started touring and started to put the odd Frankie song in my sets that you realize that everybody loves this music.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this music. Songs like Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, that chorus, da, 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 da. Every generation knows that.
Yeah.
Even the younger ones have heard of that chorus and that hook. And this show that I've created, I'm producing, Gareth Gates sings Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, feature all those big songs. Sherry, Walk Like a Man, Big Girls Don't Cry, Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, Grease, to name a few. And, it's a great evening of entertainment and has everybody up at the end singing along, dancing along. Yeah, it's a really great show. I must say, I have to wear very tight trousers in order to reach those high notes. So,
That's why you're in the gym so much.
exactly.
Well, like you say, the thing that I love about that is it also spans generations, doesn't it? We've just been talking about it, the fact that it got passed down from our parents, and it just like I just think good music stands the test of time, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's the best music. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons sold over 150 million records
Wow.
worldwide. I mean, that's just incredible.
Nearly
And
as much as you.
I've,
Nearly as much as you.
yeah, almost. I've also put together an incredible cast of West End singers. There's a guy in there who actually played Frankie in Jersey Boys on the West End. Um, so great singers in there, great live band, and great to be coming to Fareham. Fareham Live. Fareham Live is a great venue, and I'm excited to bring this incredible show there.
Well, yeah, because obviously it is a new venue. It's been specifically tailored for these sort of events.
Mm,
And having been lucky enough to have a tour behind the scenes and all of that, it's so beautifully done. It's such a fantastic layout and everything. I really think that you're
right.
going to enjoy performing there. I know that it is selling very, very well. So I know that I think there are literally like a handful of tickets left, and I think that's about it. So I
Yeah, we're
think
very fortunate with that venue. They've got a great marketing team.
yes.
As you say, it's brand new, and yeah, we're very fortunate to be bringing that show. In fact, it's the first um, Frankie Valli show of the tour. So yeah,
Is
we're
it?
actually opening there, which will be a great one for us.
Well, yeah, I can't think of a better place to open the tour. It's going to be amazing. And then in between now and sort of March, I know that you're doing probably about 300 dates in about 30 days or something like that because you're an absolute workaholic and all over the show. You are coming
Um,
back down south. You're coming back to Portsmouth. You're going to be at the King's
yes,
Theatre
at the
on
King's.
Saturday, the 8th of March, to sing love songs from the movies.
Yeah, that's right. Firstly, I love the King's Theatre. Done lots of musical theatre there. I came there with Legally Blonde. I came there with Footloose. Great venue, beautiful old
Yeah.
uh, theatre. So to be coming there with a brand new show I'm producing called Gareth Gates Sings Love Songs from the Movies. This show came about because one of my first ever song I released and my first ever number one was Unchained Melody, which was made famous by the movie Ghost. And this actually got me thinking that, some of the world's greatest love songs come from movies. And so I decided to put all these incredible songs that we all know and love from movies like Titanic, A Star is Born, Footloose, Dirty Dancing, Pretty Woman, My Girl, Armageddon, to name a few. All those big hits in one evening of entertainment. And again, I put together a great cast of West End singers. The other singers on stage have done shows like Phantom of the Opera, Grease, even Wicked on the West End. And to be performing with them, all backed by a live band, is going to be great. And to be bringing it to Portsmouth is the icing on the cake.
Well, the one tune that popped into my head when I saw this, and you haven't mentioned it yet, and I do wonder whether you do it or not, because for me, like I say, I'm 3 years younger than you. I think you might have just missed this one. I was around about 10 years old, and it created nightmares for me for a long time. Was Brian Adams' "Everything I Do It for You," of course, taken from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and the fact that it was number one in the UK for about, I don't know,
Weeks.
7 years, something like that.
Yeah.
It was number, but
It was
it
crazy.
just gives me, like a Vietnam vet when they see like the fan going around and it takes them back to the
Sure.
helicopter. I just have those flashbacks and it takes me back to a childhood when that was all you heard on the radio.
I am absolutely singing that song. That's one of my favorite songs. I actually sang that song in Pop Idol, the first week of live shows. I sang that song, and that's playing a big role in this show, along with lots of other big hits, from movies. I love the song "Shallow" from "A Star Is Born." I'll be
Oh,
doing that as a
beautiful.
duet with one of the girls in the show. I'll be playing guitar and singing that. So
Wow.
yeah, there's lots of great songs.
Well, look, Gareth, it's been absolutely wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much for talking to me. Before you go out and go on the road for the next 6 months, go and get some rest. Go and have a little
I'll
sleep.
try.
I know you like the gym, but go and have a little rest because you are going out on the road for a long, long time. Like I
That's right.
say, Gareth Gates sings Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons coming to Fareham Live on Thursday, the 27th of February. And Gareth is then going to be back singing the love songs from the movies at the King's Theatre on Saturday, the 8th of March. Thank you so much for talking to me, Gareth.
No worries. I appreciate you having me, mate, and we'll speak soon.